看看新闻网。
Joining us now in the studio to talk more about the earthquake rescue efforts is Samson Cho, who has the Department of Sports Medicine and Arthroscopic Surgery at St. Michael Hospital, Shanghai. Welcome, Dr. Cho.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, we've heard about the so-called 72-hour golden time in a rescue effort. Why 72 hours?
Right. First, generally speaking, a human can survive without water about 72 hours. So that's why the first 72 hours is very important. Otherwise, there is a statistic shows that a earthquake rescue within the first half an hour, the survival rate is about 95%, and within 1 day is about 90%. 2 days is about 50 to 60%, and within 3 days is about 20 to 30%. And after that, the survival rate is about only 5 to 10%. So after 3 days, a successful rescue is almost impossible, and that's why we call it a miracle rescue.
Well,
Right.
obviously, nobody watching us is being trapped in a quick zone, but for people who are ever in a situation and have to wait to be rescued, what should they do to help themselves out of danger, to stay out of danger?
Okay, so the first thing, if you are trapped or you are stunned, the most important thing is to keep your energy, right? So the first thing, you should try to find some water and find some food to keep your energy, to create a condition to for your survival. And if you are injured, it is very important for you to stabilize your injury. So if you have bleeding, you should try to put pressure on your wound and by clove to stop the bleeding. If you think you might have fracture, you should try not to move and stay at a secure and safe place. And the rest you have to do is to wait for the rescue team.
Well, you talked about injuries, right? So
Yeah.
can you give us some tips and suggestions on how to take care of yourself when you have a wound before the professional team arrives?
Yes. Under a disasters, I think I don't think it is easy to find a right dressing, right? So you can just try your best. But if you can try to wash your wound by soap water.
Soap water.
Soap water. Yeah. And if you can find a best clean cloth to cover it, and you can also try to tie a couple of knots to keep it in place.
All right. And then, earthquakes are rare in our parts of China, but for people who might be in one, what are some of the relatively safe places to be inside of a building? I know that you have a picture for us, right?
Yes.
Well, explain it to us to help better understand.
So there is a principle, we call it triangle of life. So it is presented by a rescue expert, Doug Cobb. And he said that a collapsing building will compact but not completely flatten a desk or a bed or a car. So and it will leave a safe space next to it. Okay, so if you have to hide, you should hide beside a bed, beside a desk, beside a car, or even a building's framework, such as toilets. And remember, it's beside it, but not beneath it.
So beside of
the bed or table, but not beneath the table, right?
And try to maybe squeeze yourself.
Yeah, try to put your hands up your head to
All
protect.
right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Cho, for sharing your insight with us. And that was Dr. Samson Cho from St. Michael Hospital, Shanghai.